Women stand roughly the same height. Connors 5'6", 5'7" for Switzerland's Egger. Both came in under that 136 allotment for this bantamweight contest. 0-1 is Connors, and 2-0 is the undefeated Egger. For our official introductions, here's Ray Flores.
Ladies and gentlemen, we continue with the action. 3 rounds in the bantamweight division. Introducing first, fighting to my right, out of the blue corner, she is a striker standing 5 feet 6 inches tall, official weight 135.9 pounds. Her record, no wins, opposite a single blemish, fighting out of Columbia, South Carolina. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Alexa Connors. And her opponent fighting to my left out of the red corner. She is a mixed martial artist, standing 5 feet 7 inches tall, weighing in officially at 135.7 pounds. Her record undefeated, 2 wins, no losses, hailing from St. Gallen, Switzerland. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Stephanie Egger. And your referee in charge, Mike England.
All the way back. Stay all the way back.
Mike England getting this bantamweight assignment. It is Alexa Connors taking on Stephanie Egger.
Ready, ma'am? You ready? Let's fight.
Touching gloves, we are underway. Connors immediately trying to kick that lead leg of Egger.
Just as before when she fought for Invicta, Connors has a lot of fakes and feints, a lot of a karate or taekwondo style lead in into her strikes.
Enjoy live and exclusive events, original programming, and the largest MMA library on UFC Fight Pass. Download the UFC.tv app today. Anytime, anywhere is your pass to the Ultimate Fighting Championship. Egger throwing kicks back. Nice one landed to the body there of Connors.
She seems a little hesitant to push forward on Connors, and Connors is taking good advantage of that right now.
Egger in trouble here. Connors throwing a flurry of punches. We see Egger trying to circle away. Now she makes some space, but she eats another kick to that lead leg. Alexa Connors proving to do exactly what she wanted to in the first fight, really start her game and make Egger react.
She is, and Connors is doing a good job of pushing Egger's back. That's when you push an opponent straight back, you usually get them where you want them to be. Now it's Egger's doing the forward push, lunging her punches just a little bit there on the inside.
A lot of people tweeting tonight. Remember, use that hashtag InvictaFC20. Nice combination there. Connors still pushing forward. You know, she has a lot of unorthodox looks, does Connors, with her kicks. That could lead the clinch opportunities open for Egger, but thus far, Egger's been backing up and reacting more than anything.
She has. You know, she's got that wild swing off of her right hand, which looks like it would really hurt if it hit you, but so far she's been a little bit unsuccessful connecting with that.
Looks like Egger's trying to hunt her down, maybe clinch her up against the fence, but Connors still throwing a lot of offensive output, and Egger just can't get close enough. I like the way Connors is making sure that her back is staying off the fence as well, staying in space so she can get away from the rushing Egger.
Yeah, that's an important thing to do against somebody who you know wants to clinch up with you. You've got to stay at range, and you've got to move in multiple attack areas, so up and down and up and down. Never let them get a read on how they can grab you.
Now Egger looking to counterpunch with her back against the fence. Connors backs up, so it was effective, but Egger eats another kick to that lead leg. Those
are some nasty kicks that are landing right there from Connors. Egger is definitely hitting the ribs with her own kick, but I feel like the leg kick is doing a little bit more damage at this point.
Connors definitely getting comfortable here. Nice head movement there. Another kick there by Connors. Connors getting pretty aggressive here, getting comfortable. She's got to make sure that she doesn't get overconfident, though.
She is. You can hear her corner calling to her to pull the trigger, to move forward, to really be aggressive and attack. And I can understand the need. Oh, nice shot right there from Connors. I can understand the need to do that after her performance against Haworth.
Connors really mixing up the strikes here, starting with kicks, following with punches. Egger tries to come over the top of the right hand. Kick again to the body of Connors. This is exactly the fight that Connors wanted to implement here. And Egger's trying to play with her, but you can't fight fire with fire sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes you can't. I would like to see Egger try to get to her strong clinch game. I'd like to see her try to get this to the ground. I don't think Connors wants that to happen. I think she's going to do everything within her power not to go to the ground, but Eggers is just maybe not as crisp with her punches, maybe not landing with quite the volume and intensity that Connors is able to execute here.
Oh, nice to the body there. Connors in trouble, gives up her back. We'll see what Egger wants to do here. One hook is in.
Oh my goodness.
70
all the way
seconds
on her
here.
back.
This might be a wrap for
Wow.
Stephanie Egger. No, she loses the grip. Connors battling through. Nicely done by Alexa Connors. Back to her feet.
You were
Nice
right
knee up
about
the
being
middle.
overly aggressive, TJ. That's exactly what got her into trouble.
Oh, she answers with a very nice left hand, though, and that stalls the offensive output there from Egger. 45 seconds remain here in round number 1. That was almost disastrous for Alexa Connors.
It really was, and props to Egger for really jumping on that opportunity and locking in a submission. It wasn't successful, but I think now she knows that the opening is there if she gets Connors to the ground.
Egger's starting to figure out how to counter as well here. She landed a nice right hand. It's interesting. You look at Egger eat a kick, and it's almost instinctual. She wants to throw a kick right back.
Yeah, I can understand that. It's almost like a dialogue that happens right there. You get kicked, you're like, that hurt. I'm going to hit the other person back.
Connors launches off a combination. Final seconds here of round number 1. These ladies going to war. Time! Nice volley of action there to end the opening round. Alexa Connors, she really dictated the pace there, but she had to go through some trouble. Let's let's take a look at this replay, Julie. Walk
Okay,
us
so you
through.
can see when Egger rushes her, she kicks right off of that Superman attempt punch, jumps onto Connors' back, and sinks in a rear naked choke. Now, she doesn't have the position completely on with her legs, and Connors is actually able to defend, get out of it, get into top position, and get back to her feet and launch attacks again. However, that was very quick, very nicely done by Egger.
Nice shot of the corners here. If you're Alexa Connors, what do you do? Because largely you were very effective in that round with your striking approach, but you did start to get countered there with Egger's left hand and right handed by the end of the first round.
If I was in Connors' corner right now, I'd be telling her to keep hammering that leg. More movement to the outside, more hammering the leg, going up top with a punch, then hammering that leg again. If I were Eggers, I would be like, get this fight to the ground, use your kicks, use your punches, move off of her momentum, her forward momentum, to get your trip in there and get her down.
Alexa Connors has been here before, fighting 15 minutes in her Invicta FC debut. Egger making her promotional debut here tonight.
And one of the reasons that that leg kick from Connors is working so effectively is because Egger is not necessarily super light on her feet. You can see that her left toes are tilted just a little bit inwards, and it kind of opens up the common peroneal nerve. It kind of opens for a nice leg kick if Connors finds the range for it.
Egger now trying to punch her way into the clinch. She does. If she can get a grab here. She talked about how she wanted to implement her judo in this fight, maybe get a throw. Now she's striking. Because of that, Connors able to get free, now back in space.
Looks like she's getting a little bit more aggressive with that, with those, is Egger. She's pushing those kicks and punches together now. Oh, that was a nice
there.
kick.
The lead leg of Connors by Stephanie Egger. As confidence growing for Alexa Connors, she really hasn't had to fight any takedown attempts from Stephanie Egger.
She hasn't, but I feel like the confidence is also growing from Egger. She is moving backwards still, but she's really starting to hit the leg with her leg. That's a powerful kick from a very strong woman.
Those leg kicks are going to really add up over the course of this fight.
And one of the things that happens, though, with Egger's stance is that she's back on her heels a lot when she moves backward. Her balance is shifted backwards, causing her to kind of stumble in a straight line as opposed to pushing forward or pushing off an angle from the cage, which would be much nicer in a way to defend herself.
Egger throwing a lot of kicks. You know, with striking combinations, you can punch yourself into the clinch and maybe try to get a takedown that way, but Egger really can't do that when she throws kicks like this.
She can't, but she can find that opportunity. If Connor is looking for her to try and grab her, it really opens up her legs. It opens up other opportunities. If you're scared of defending one thing, oftentimes it's the thing you're not defending that you really get nailed with or knocked out with.
Again with the kick is Stephanie Egger attacking with it. she's been countering a lot, countering effectively with her right hand. But Connors has, largely again just made Egger react more than anything.
Yeah, I think this hand speed that Alexa Connors has is played well into her favor. I never like the way she holds her hands down low like that. It's a recipe for disaster, but she is able to pepper those little shots straight down the middle. Her jab is very nice.
Connors went 8-1 as an amateur before going pro. Mentioned that decision she lost to Laura Howarth. Very determined to get that first pro win here tonight. And then amateur experience is making her look like a pro here tonight. Obviously she's a professional, but a lot of experience already gained for Alexa Connors even in her second pro fight.
Yeah, the thing about fighting amateur is, yeah, you want to get paid to fight, you absolutely do, but it's also, fighting is a passion project, and you have to know that you love it. Fighting amateur is the best way to prove that, because you don't get paid, you often spend more money than you would ever walk away with. But you do know that you love it, and you know that you're in front of a crowd and you're getting that experience of hitting another human being.
Egger pushed forward hard for a takedown, unable to get it. Now Connors has her back against the fence and loading up a combination of strikes here, going to the body as well as the head.
Oh, nice shot
there by Alexa Connors gets through.
Connors is doing a nice job with that head movement, but it does look like Egger is slowing down just a little bit with her strikes. Her arms are coming a little bit slower, and it looks like Connors is still a little bit peppy there.
Looks like Egger has sort of accepted the fact that she's going to take a couple shots and try to give a couple back as well. We'll see if she can do that for too long, because Connors still, as you mentioned, a lot of pop in her strike still. Less than a minute remains here in round number 2.
Oh,
nice right hand gets through by Connors. She mixes up, goes to the body, gets a kick by Egger. Connors is smart. When she has Egger backed up, she's not initiating a clinch, putting herself in a bad position by any means.
Right, she's going up, down with her strikes. It's a nice way to keep Egger trying to counterattack, but also not being able to grab her.
TJ DeSantis, Julie Kedzie, Kansas City, Missouri, Invicta FC 20 here tonight on UFC Fight Pass inside the Scottish Rite Temple. And information coming up on Invicta FC 21 later here tonight. Connors comes forward with a combination of strikes, dying seconds of round number 2. Egger eats some hard shots here. Nice flurry there to end the round. Alexa Connors really staying true to her game plan, and it is paying dividends.
Yeah, I've been impressed with the way she's been moving. I think actually at the end of that round, I saw Connors slow down just a little bit. It's hard to tell because, again, she does carry her hands very low. She's got a lot of confidence going in there. What I've seen with her attacks so far, though, I do think that she's got the upper hand in the strike game, and she's doing a very good job of getting in and out, being very fast. I think Egger needs to get her feet underneath her more than anything else. She needs to, when she's thrown, she's some really nice, hard kicks, but she's a little bit tilted backwards. She doesn't have her weight underneath her. We watch the way, there's those little peppering shots up and down, like I said, from Connors. That's doing a very nice job of keeping the action going. But Egger stands so straight. She's leaned back a little bit. She's off balance. She needs her feet underneath her to get a nice power shot in, get the clinch, and take this fight to the ground.
Stephanie Egger has 5 minutes to implement her game plan. I think she may need to finish if she wants to take this fight away from Alexa Connors. 5 minutes to go here between these two bantamweights. Egger attacks that lead leg again. Start the round. Connors moving forward.
And Connors really needs to answer that with the straight right like she did before. That shot's going to be there all day because of the motion of Egger's body when she kicks. She's like a little canted off balance. A nice kick. Good flurry. Eggers is definitely trying to push that pace and get right on her, get her to the cage.
She knows the time is now if she wants to take this fight away from Alexa Connors. Tomorrow, UFCFightPass.com heads to Belfast, Northern Ireland. In the main event, 2 middleweight contenders lock up once again as Gegard Mousasi gets the rematch he's wanted against the man who beat him last year, and that is Uriah Hall. It's live and exclusive on UFC Fight Pass with the main card kicking off at 4 p.m. Eastern.
Something we're seeing really nicely here as Connors takes the initiative and starts pushing the attack is when she attacks towards Egger. When Egger comes towards her, Connors is moving to the side. She's never staying in one spot. She's always keeping a track on Egger as she moves around her. and almost corrals her.
Nice use of the jab there by Egger. Backed up Connors for a brief moment. Now tries to launch a kick to the body. Nice flurry here. Nice hands by Stephanie Egger. Not landing flush, but getting Connors to move, and that's something she hasn't had to, haven't been able to do for prolonged periods of time in this fight.
Yeah, I would be working that right hand if I were Egger, because again, both ladies, the way they're holding their hands, they can both get hit right down the middle by a right shot, especially when they throw their kicks.
Doubling up on the kick there is Egger. Connors pushes forward. Really loading up the hands here is Connors. Hard right hand. Egger's still game, trying to get into the clinch. Connors wisely evades.
Yeah, and you can see Egger's getting tired here. That was a desperation grab that she did right there. I think that right hand really took some steam out of her.
Yeah, Egger's posture now breaking a little bit, really slowing down here, trying to figure out how to get on the inside. Look at that, Invicta FC alum Tisha Torres watching tonight on Fights Pats, tweeting us at TJ DeSantis, at JulesK_fighter. Invicta FC 20 is the hashtag. Now inside the clinch. Egger lands a knee to the body, now back in space.
I think that Egger's leg kicks probably hurt, but I would say Connors' leg kicks, given the amount of damage on that thigh of Egger, that's got to really be painful.
Egger's posture broke a moment there. Now she's eating shots to the body and the face. She looks, at the time, she's definitely in a world of hurt. Connors smells blood, trying to capitalize right here. Right hand gets through by Alexa Connors. Egger might be spent, but she's going out on her shield.
She is. She's not giving up. She's still doing the same attacks that she was before. Oh, well, that's not advisable. Try not to show you're tired like that, fighters.
Hard right hand by Alexa Connors, trying to make the most of this here with 2 minutes remaining. Now a shot from the outside. Alexa Connors has none of it.
Look at the way she just stalked. She pushed her away and she stalked towards her with no fear like that. A great confident moment for her.
Egger still thrown hard right hand by Alexa Connors. She stalks her down. Stephanie Egger still hanging tough. Alexa Connors looking for the first stoppage victory of her professional career.
Eggers is hurt right now.
Again, more hands here from Alexa Connors. Stephanie Egger doing enough to stay in this fight. The left to right, Mike England letting her work. Alexa Connors loading up.
Nicely done.
Egger loses her mouthpiece. Alexa Connors
Step.
finishes it right. Oh, nope. Looks like she has not won.
Wait, no.
Okay, so Mike England decided to put the mouthpiece in an inadvisable moment to do so as Connors was flurrying.
She was
I thought
flurrying.
he was stopping the fight, but he was not now. Alexa Connors trying to make him stop the fight. Egger goes in for a takedown. Shucked off. Connors trying to get the stoppage that she thought she had a moment ago.
Well, that's
Egger with the right hand.
Disheartening, but look at Egger's getting her steam back a little bit from that. Yeah.
Not the right time to step in. Stephanie Egger going to try to capitalize on it. Connors not broken.
No, it looks like Egger's trying to get that second wind in there. Connors is angry.
Well, Mike England may have stolen the momentum that Alexa Connors had going. Stephanie Egger lost her mouthpiece due to a combination of cardio issues and getting hit in the face. And lands a nice right hand, though, does Egger. Final 10 seconds here. Looks like Alexa Connors is on her way to a decision victory. If she can't finish it in the final moment, she does not. Stephanie Egger hangs tough. I don't know if we see that final bell, though, without the aid of Mike England.
Yeah, I honestly thought that was going to be a TKO victory right there. There was a flurry going on. She lost her mouthpiece. There has been some gamemanship in some fights where fighters have spit out a mouthpiece to get a moment there. I don't know. I wouldn't have stopped a flurry right there.
While Alexa Connors might not be happy with the faux stoppage, she's going to be happy with this performance. Julie, walk us through it.
Okay, let's watch that. That body shot hurt. She was staggering backwards. Connors is unloading on Egger's face and body, pushing her backwards. Eggers is on her heels, desperately trying to grab onto her, still throwing her own attacks, but not landing as successfully. And you can see these punches coming forward from Connors, that kick that really nails that leg. Now here's the mouthpiece flying out right there. Eggers looks towards it, but she covers up. I don't know, TJ. I feel like
Connors
that
never broke her posture. She was always throwing strikes. That's not the moment that you step in. Safety is paramount, yes, but in the middle of that, I had no problem with the stoppage. I thought it was a stoppage. I didn't have a problem with it there if the fight was going to be over.
I would have called that as a stoppage too.
Regardless, Alexa Connors puts in 15 minutes of work on Stephanie Egger. We think that she will be awarded a decision to make it official. Here's Ray.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance, we go to the scorecards. Here are your score totals. Judge at cage side, Kevin Champion scores the bout 29-28 for Connors. Judge Henry Guiri scores the bout 29-28 for Egger. And Judge Fernando Marquez scores the contest 29-28 for your winner by split decision, Alexa Connors.
Alexa Connors gets it done by split decision. She was definitely upset about the stoppage by Mike England. If that went against her, I don't know.
Yeah.